Hello everybody, welcome to Farming Simulator 13 for the Beskidy map. Beskidy, I'm trying to pronounce that correctly. I'm sure my Polish friends will hopefully let me know if I'm not. The heirs are grandfather there, our beloved Dziadku, and we're hoping to make him happy with us as we handle his farm. You'll notice the game is stuttering here just a little bit, and let me take care of something here real quick to handle that, if you will. Whenever there is an accumulation of objects with collisions, namely bales, there tends to be some stuttering in the game, and you'll notice now it's all better. I'll get to that here in a moment. You know, when I would start the game, I was getting an error popped with the Bank of Hagenstedt mod, and it was starting to annoy me. It basically said I had the wrong version in there, and no matter what I look at, I had the correct versions. It was like, what are you smoking? Let me go show you here real quick some of the things you have to do sometimes if you want to get rid of some of those annoyances. And in this case here, the coding for the mod itself ended up undoing something that I tried to do in game, you know, which is disappointing. So hang on a second, let's head out of game briefly. Alright, I have the Bank of Hagenstedt code up here. Let me also pull the XML file. So, and where I just was, this is in the save game. Save game 1 is kind of what we're in. And the Bank of Hagenstedt activity is handled all in this XML. So load it up, and it no longer has, see, I had to take out a loan in order to purchase the auto loading bale trailer. You know, that one that we were working on last episode. Well, I had to take out a loan, and I can't even remember now how much it was. I think I took it out maybe off cam. So I kind of went back through my videos. I don't recall seeing it. Maybe as I do some editing on them, I'll come across it. So I don't know how to fill out, you know, for the active loan. I don't even remember the amount. You know, maybe it was 50,000. Don't remember the interest rate. I just don't remember any of it. All I know is it killed it and it didn't keep it. Now you'll notice something here, that it has the version number plugged in right up here, 1.011. I don't know why it has these zeros on here, but what the mod author is attempting to do is to look at the version of the save game, and then his code, which is over here, has a version way up top here, where if the version of the save game is different from the version of the script, in which, you know, then it notifies the player, or that was kind of the intent behind it. And in this case here, we see the version number 1.011, and the Lua code is exactly the same as our save game file. So there should be no problem at all. Only there was. And here's where it kind of dumped, you know, what I had attempted to do in game. It's just kind of an unfortunate set of events. Down here, where it loads the bank data, it looks for the version number in the save game file. Well, when I did a print, you know, so I could study this in the code, I had a print to the log what version number it was pulling up. You know, we look over here, it says 1.011000. Well, when I printed it, and it printed it in all of its full glory, it was 1.011, and it had a whole string of zeros, and then at the end of it, it just tacked on some other numbers. Now, remember up top, we saw the version was 1.011. Well, here's what it's doing. If the version of the save game file is less than or equal to the version of the code, then it's okay to go ahead and load the bank data. But if it's not, then it doesn't load anything at all. It just prints this warning to the log and says your save game file's too old or whatever. Well, at first, when this message was, hitting me in game, I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't pay it any mind at first, never realizing that by not loading my banking data, I effectively lost, the amount of the loan that I had, which is kind of irritating. So it's as if, I basically had free money. That's kind of what it was. So I'm gonna just say the Polish government or whoever, since they know I'm just a dumb American, coming across the pond to try to help out, my grandfather, they gave me a grant, to help take on his farm. That's just what I'm going to assume. And because I don't know if there's any effective way I can rebuild it. There is, but it would just take more hoopla. So to fix this, so I don't ever again get an error, I am forcing the comparison here to be identical to the code. So it's impossible, for it to be off. It'll always be equal, so therefore it's going to load just fine. Now, this is Farm Sim 13, so it's an old game. We know there's nobody working on a new Bank of Hagenstedt mod, so kind of what I have is all there is, so I'm not too worried. I'm breaking the guy's code and treating it kind of in a way that it wasn't intended, but I know there's no new versions coming out, so I feel comfortable making a little tweak, a little edit. There's no longer any purpose for having the version number in here, and the point is it's always now going to execute the code. Now let me make sure, when it saves it, it'll save the version, but the nice thing up here when it's saving bank data is it doesn't check the version number and say, well, you got the wrong version number, so we're not even going to save the data. At least it doesn't do that. So I don't know what causes this. It seems like this should have worked, but I almost think I saw some comments over on the mod hoster site, kind of where I downloaded this mod, and I think I saw some people kind of complaining about it a little bit, and someone said download the latest version, so I actually re-downloaded the mod. But it didn't fix this because the version that I downloaded is exactly the same as the version that I had. So anyway, now I think that's fixed. So if I take out a loan in the future, it's gonna work the way it should. Now, there goes a plane. Back to this bale handling script. After the episode last time, I was hoping to do another episode right on the heels of it, where we would pick up additional bales and haul it to market, but I had to tweak a couple things, or so I thought. So I saved the game, and I hopped out, and I closed it, never realizing what kind of a problem I was going to cause myself. And this script, now that I think about it, I bet if I looked online, there probably would be some complaints about it. All I can say is if you have this particular mod, with an auto-loading trailer, make sure that you unload it before you save the game. Otherwise, what it does, it does work as intended. It'll relocate the bales from the ground onto the trailer and it'll put them there. But when you save the game, it uses some really weird data in the save game file. Well, I say weird, it isn't really weird, but it says that the bales are located at location 000. Well, that's underneath the surface of the map. So when you load the map, again, all those bales that you painstakingly put on here, they're not going to appear on the trailer because they're under the surface of the map. And not only that, I found my equipment was under the map too. Now, I don't know what caused that, but the script obviously needs some additional work so that when you save the game, that it remembers, all the bales that were on there and re-puts them back on the trailer. Now, I didn't take time to do that. When I obviously broke the game, when I put those on there and tried to save it with all those bales on the trailer. So I had to kind of mess with the save game file, and I found all those bales, and what I did for the bales is I gave them a new location, basically right near or next to the bale trailer, and I just stacked them up into the sky, gave them random locations, and so when I would come in game, they were all stacked up, and they dropped them down, made a terrible mess, and so forth and so on. So I could give my bales back. So then I said, well, I sure don't want this to happen again. So, if I forget and I leave the game or have to leave it for some reason and I hit save, I don't want to have problems again. So, what I decided to do, and let me go back out of the game. When you have a bale object, you maybe remember the last time when we talked, they're in a current mission, GE current mission items to save. It's a table that holds all those bales. So I figured, well, the game is already saving the location of all the bales. What I need to do is make sure that when the game is saved, that the trailer lets go of all the bales and then puts them at their true world location so that the game knows kind of where the bales are. And I said, if they're on the trailer, those are the only ones, of course, I'm concerned with. Just release them on the trailer when the player saves, and that way the trailer will be empty. There's nothing on it into the save, and then all the bales that were on it will kind of be in the vicinity of the trailer. Hopefully it doesn't make too big of a mess, as long as they're released. So I came in here and put in some code to do this. So, and all I did, by the way, is I borrowed this code from code that was already in here. Clear down here at the bottom when there is detaching going on, object detach, and if it's on the trailer. If you want to unload it on the trailer as opposed to, right or left or in the back, then you use this code here. So I copied this code and I pasted it up here in the section for get, save, attributes, and nodes. Now, I just happen to know that when the game saves, it calls this section of code, so it's doing all these things up here, and then it returns what are called attributes and nodes. Now here it didn't have any nodes, it returned nil, but it does have attributes. And these attributes are things that show up in the trailers, in the vehicle XML file for the trailer. For various attributes. Is it auto-loading? Are there certain displays out, and so forth? It puts all those in here. So I said, before you return and send this thing off, let's detach all of the bales. So I just ran a quick routine for I equals 1 to the total number of attachers on the trailer, do the following. And then it just detaches every single bale. It's going to go attacher by attacher by I. That's what this is. It's going to see if there's an object. If it isn't nil, that means there's something there. And then when it sees what's there, it's going to take it off the trailer. It's going to give it its characteristics back. It's going to turn it into a rigid body, a dynamic object, if you will. That's what it's doing here. And it's going to place it exactly on the world where it is. Now, they're all stacked on a trailer. So, of course, the world location is going to be in the vicinity of the trailer. Hopefully, it'll kind of hold its stack. But this is kind of the idea. When you hit save, get it off the trailer, empty the trailer, but leave it kind of on the trailer, if that makes sense, at least where they're sitting, but they're not attached, and record the data. So that's kind of what's going on here. And I think that'll solve the problem for me, but I do need to be careful and remember that I have this in here. There was a trailer that I used in Farm Sim 19, and the auto-loading script for it did exactly the same thing that I'm doing here, which is to unload the trailer when you hit save, or not unload, but detach the bales. And it really caused some problems. I try to hit save as often as I can, when I'm in a game, so that I don't lose progress, or at least periodically. Nobody likes to lose data or progress in the game, so I'd be periodically hitting save. Well, come to find out, I had a trailer and a tractor trailer unit going at the time. I was hauling bales, and I would hit save, and I was using course play, like I was over there hauling bales from point A to point B. I would hit save while he was en route, never realizing that because he was going so fast, all the bales flew off the trailer, because remember, they're no longer attached, and went all over the road. And I kept looking at that going, what in the world is going on? What would tell it to just dump all the bales? Well, as it turns out, the script for auto-loading is what was doing it. And it was doing it for a very simple reason that it's happening here. It's detaching it so that it could save the data using the power of the game engine itself. And what it basically means, this is what happens when you save it. When you load, let me see here. Yeah, load from attributes and node. So when you load the game, it comes in here and it starts loading everything from the save game file. Well, there's a whole lot of work that the modder would have to do to identify all the objects. We would have to, down here in the save game, rather than detaching, I could have it go through every single object that is attached, and I would have to note, hey, here's the object that's attached, here's its i3D file, and store some of this data, in the save game. And that still could be done, but I don't know that I'll do that. But you would have to do that so that when you come in and load, you can load all those details for the objects, that were attached. All that to say is, I'm just going to have to remember, when I'm just going to have to remember that I've done this so that I don't accidentally hit save. Like, I'll do it real quick here again. I'll hit save, and you'll see it's stuttering again, but it's also in the process of reloading it. You can see it happening as we go. There, no more stuttering. So it's just, it's kind of a band-aid of a script, if you will, but it'll allow me to use it at least, even though it's going to cause just a little bit of stuttering in-game. Oh, look up there, there's a plane coming, there's a hot air balloon. Hopefully the Polish Aeronautical Association or whatever has all those guys figured out so that it'll crash into each other. So I'm gonna continue going here and finish picking up the bales. Now this trailer, oh yeah, okay, it isn't a single, it has kind of another axle in there. Working on the fifth layer, if you will. And I don't know if we'll finish this. Maybe we will. Oh, I gotta be on level 2 so I can pick them up. Yeah, I guess the script author wanted you to be a little realistic as you traveled around picking up bales. Maybe what you assume is that there's a bunch of people following you around and helping you pick up the bales as you go around the field. But I gotta say, it's really handy. Okay, folks, we are done. And here's what I'm going to try to do. I am no good at backing up a trailer that is double-tongued or has another pivot point. So we're going to see what I can do down here. It's a bumpy road. I wonder if I'm a little underpowered pulling a trailer like this. I'm pretty sure there is a bale sell point down here. There's 2 bale sell points that I noticed on the map. One is conveniently close by. The other is at the horse place, which is clear over on this side of the map, I seem to recall. But I don't think we get any more by hauling it over there, so I'm going to just bring it here. And now what we gotta do is, there is a way. See, I think my trailer's a little bit too long. You could come, it's right in here where the trigger is. You could drive through here with a small trailer and then you could come out this door. Let me see if I need to... Is there an open door? Alright. Okay, well, hopefully it means I can stick the tractor in there. This probably isn't gonna look pretty because, like I said, I don't, there are some people who are awesome at backing up trailers, and I'm not really one of them. Probably if I go like this, I just gotta be careful as I back up. And then, yeah, see, I gotta be careful. That's where you get this double pivot point going, and it's really easy to... Here we go. You know, maybe I could just put them into the... Maybe that's what I can do. Let me try to get a little bit closer, just to be sure. The trouble is, if I unload them on one side or the other, I'm throwing them somewhere, and I'm not really sure where they're all gonna go. So I almost have a feeling I'd rather just unload them onto the trailer to try to be sure that I know where they're going. Okay, hey, I actually made it into the trigger. Woohoo! So, let me see. Now toggle unload side, left, back, right, trailer. Okay, I'm on the trailer. So, now I think I hit O to unload. Aha, look at that. How much money did I get? What? $129? That's all? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, that's disappointing. Oh. That's very disappointing. Are you kidding me? This is 190 bales. What is it, $1 a piece? Oh. Okay, well, let me see. Stop unloading. Let me unload. Okay, it almost looks like, yeah, all I received was $1 a piece. So, uh, maybe I need to take my lumps on this one. I wonder if some of it is the game probably doesn't recognize that I have a different kind of bale in there. I'm kind of wondering, can I maneuver? Oh boy, I don't think I want to try it. I don't know that I can make the turn to get down in here, even if I take it at an angle here. So I'm stuck doing it the way I'm doing, unless I did a little modification on the map and changed the gate to be over here, so there isn't the turn. But I don't know that I want to do that. But I am not happy at all that I only received $1 a piece for those bales. So I'm gonna have to see about that. There's probably something, like I say, in the coding or whatever that needs to be fixed. So, but for the moment, I'll try to go through and pick up whatever bales are here. I don't know if we have another full trailer or not, but I know I'm starting to say maybe I just take my lumps with it this time and don't expect, to make a lot of money on the bales. I mean, that's the very least I could do to help cover the cost of the trailer, which I had to take out some debt. And like I say, I don't remember how much I had to take out. All I know is that it didn't retain the data. So it could be that the cost of these bales may not even cover it. I don't know. But I need to figure that out to see why. Actually, is it popping any errors? No errors. That's just very interesting that it only gave $1 a piece. That's interesting. I need to bring in a plow to take care of that. I think that's one area of the... Alright, we're on to the third layer. Maybe there'll be enough in here to fill this out. We shall see. Surely these bales are worth more than $1. I mean, I know it's straw, but... I'm trying to remember, in the last episode, we opened the bale kind of in the editor. I know it indicates what the fill type is inside it. But maybe, well, I thought I'm pretty sure it had it in there by liter, 500 liters per bale. Kind of think that's the way it was set. So, yeah, I'm gonna need to just figure out. There. Okay, so we didn't quite get another full trailer, but we have, I think, everything now. I think that's all the bales. Is this by any chance open? Nope, that's a hard object. Yeah, it's probably a cheat. I have half a notion to take the collisions off the fence so that I could just kind of sneak on through the fence. I mean, come on, if the collisions are off on the gate, then maybe and I could drive through it. And it would seem a small thing. Alright. How do you guys back up a trailer like this? Like I say, I know I've seen guys on YouTube who do this in real life, and then some, especially those folks down in Australia that are particularly skilled at it for some reason. Maybe because they have those overroad road trains, they call them, you know, where a semi-tractor unit will haul multiple trailers, and then somehow when they get to where they need to go, the guy is so good he can back the whole thing up straight as an arrow, you know, to wherever it needs to go. It's just some amazing skill. Alright, so let me toggle unload, and once again it's not not giving me what I would like, but maybe oh, that's interesting. You can back all the way into here. Oh, alright, they took the collisions off that. Well, you know what? You know what that's telling me? That's telling me that I can... Let me just give that a try. I didn't realize the collisions were off. Let me take this down here. Like if I come in here like a normal session, I'll just have to file this away for later when I have bales. Oh, except I can't run into that there. I just need to know that when I come through here, there's the bell, that I can swing wide. Alright, look at that. I'm not even sure I even hit the stack hardly. Okay, cool beans. That'll take care of that. We've now handled our bales, and it looks like we got a bad deal with the bale dealer, but like I say, I think I'll try to fix that off cam and see if we can get more normal bale pricing into the game. Thank you so much for coming along. It appears our fields are ready to be cultivated and replanted, and we'll get started on that in the next episode. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.